Hey guys, welcome to the channel. You are watching Zazie K Creations, and on my channel I am sharing my sewing journey with you all and some sewing vlogs here and there, as well as some faith-based content every once in a while. So I am very eager to get back into my sewing after taking a week and a couple of days off. But I know I cannot bring myself to sew until I am able to get some things stored away and packed up and cleaned out a little bit. So I'm going to take you on that journey this evening as I go ahead and get some things stored away in my room. I first start with that big old bag of new look patterns that had been sitting on my floor since last year that I had not put away. I was going to use my binder method with my sheet protectors and my clasp envelopes, but when I opened the bag of patterns, it was just way too many, and I was just like, I'm not going to do that. So I just decided to use a tote and dedicate this tote to all of my new look patterns. I'm basically putting a post-it note to separate the different categories, and that's how I will store these patterns away. I just knew if I went ahead and did the binder sheet protector method, I would probably not get this finished for another couple weeks or so, and I'm just tired of seeing the bag on the floor, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going through these patterns and I totally forgot what I even purchased. But I remember I had a shortage of patterns for my girls, and I was able to pick up quite a few of the new look kids patterns. Most of them were tweens, but and they all look to be easy to put together. So I've got some nice options, and with the spring and summer coming, you know, I've got some stuff I can get sewn up for my girls. I've got some nice outerwear, new look patterns. This is a bomber jacket. I think someone did a tutorial on this bomber jacket. I'll have to go back and check out YouTube for that one. And I did not know I had this cape pattern. When I was working on my capes in the fall, or my cape in the fall, I could have pulled this one out and just did not know I even had it. So normally I store the actual patterns themselves in my attic, but I figured since these are complete envelopes, I'll keep these in my sewing room, tucked under my table, and I will probably do some rearranging of this area here, but this is where they'll be held. Now, as for the sheet protectors and the binders and the envelopes, I will just store these away because they will definitely come in handy with future pattern purchases. So now it's time to store away some supplies. Don't ask me why I just felt the need to turn these lights on, but it's just something about having my lights on in my room that I just love. But anyway, I turned the lights on, and now I'm going to go ahead and get my vacuuming done. So as I vacuum, I realize the vacuum is not picking up the way it should, and I think that's because the canister is full. So I need to go ahead and do the dirty, dusty task of cleaning out the canister. So I returned to my list of to-do items and realized as a part of pattern storage, I have on my floor some envelopes that I need to store away from some patterns I purchased. I think I got these from simplicity.com, but I need to go ahead and get those stored. So, although they're already in the clasp envelopes, I'm just gonna drop those clasp envelopes right here in my tote and slide my tote back under my table. There weren't many. So now that my room is clean, I've done some storage, I've done some vacuuming, and now I am ready to get back to sewing. And the first thing I'm going to do is finish off the hem of that Vogue dress that I started so I can put this away and pull it back out later in the year. So I actually cut this on the right side, and I probably should just done it on the wrong side, but now I need to go ahead and turn this to the wrong side so I can go ahead and measure up or prepare the hem. And since this is a basic hem, I'm not really going to measure. I'm just going to sort of eyeball it and fold it up about an inch all the way around. And then I will take it to my sewing machine and probably sew about a 5/8 of an inch around.
So tangible about knowing what it feels like to be treated differently simply because of the way I move through the world.
Broadway is something she didn't even think was possible when she was 15. Said this during an interview.
Probably not going in just because it's hard to get cast.
Now it's time to sew. So, guys, there is one thing I am reminded of as I'm working on the hem that may have been a contributing factor to the stretch is that these clips that I put on the hem, because they are bigger, they do add a little bit of weight to the hem. So I'm thinking, because I also use these clips all around the garment as I made it earlier in the month, that may have actually contributed to the amount of stretch or the added stretch I had when making this garment. So I need to keep that in mind. So I'm sewing and sewing and sewing along, and I realized that I ran out of my bobbin thread. And trust me, guys, I did check before I started, and I just underestimated the amount of thread that was left on my bobbin. So I've got to go ahead and change it out. But I always prepare at least 2 or 3 spools of bobbin for this purpose. Are you serious? Check to see if you left it in here somewhere. I felt like this hem was taking forever, forever and ever to get done. Oh my gosh. I finally made it to the finish line. I am ready to clip my loose threads, and I can call this finished, at least for now. I'm not sure that I kept with the 5/8 inch seam allowance, but I'm not gonna take this garment too seriously. I like having fun, and it's done. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.